Let's bring in Jefferies aerospace analyst Sheila Kahyaoglu to weigh in on this. So, Sheila, to what degree is this incremental versus what might have been expected, and how does it filter into to Boeing's backlog?
Sure. Thanks so much, Mike. So news reports came out over the weekend that there might be a big order coming out. It looks like it's 160 official aircraft, and Qatar has 130 in its order book. So it's certainly incrementally positive. Actually, one of the favorite notes we wrote this year was about a month ago, and it was about the trade deficit. And the easiest way to solve a trade deficit is with $70 to $400 million Boeing planes. Really eases it up, and President Trump is clearly using that as a negotiating tactic. And in this case, it's working in Boeing's favor. It's extending the backlog for Boeing. It is incremental. These are new jets that they would put in an order for.
And of course, it comes after China sort of relaxed its restrictions on purchases of Boeing's, which was imposed, I guess, just last month. But just put it all together in terms of how it sets Boeing up relative to how far the stock has already come back.
Yeah, the stock's had a great 30% move over the last month or so. And that's really been behind people getting scared of tariffs and the skyline being put away. But as we know, Boeing has not successfully delivered aircraft for 6 to 7 years. And 2025 seems to be the first year they're doing so. So putting it all together, in Q1, Boeing delivered an average of 35 MAXs a month. For the rest of the year, we were conservative and we were assuming about 30 per month. They're doing better on the MAXs. The news out of China yesterday de-risks it because Boeing delivered 18 aircraft to China in Q1. They have 50 for the remainder of the year. That's 18% of what they're expected to deliver. And now that they're allowed to redeliver those, we're feeling more and more confident about upsides to our estimates. And that's really why you're seeing Boeing working, is they're actually producing for the first time in 6 years. They're doing it correctly. That means they're getting better pricing, and they're building a backlog once again, which they lost out on given the MAX issues.
Sheila, can regulators let them go wild on production? And what are the limitations from both the regulatory standpoint and their own efficiency standards right now?
I think Kelly Ortberg and Stephanie Pope have taken a different view on that. And they really said, let's put the regulators aside. We're going to work with them, but we're going to build up in rate. So what they're focusing on right now is building 35 MAXs a month, or, they were at 25, actually. They're at 30 now, getting higher on that. And they're going to work in increments of keeping that rate for 6 months. And then eventually the regulator will let them go up there. So their plan is to get to 38 by year end. But the pace they're at right now means that they could do 38 MAXs probably by the summertime. So they're outperforming their expectations. And I think as they implement these safety cultures, it's just helping Boeing. And we were just at one of their facilities a month or two ago, and it's very evident, even over the last year or two, the changes that they're putting in place. They're just making it more user-friendly for the workforce to build these planes and document what they're doing.
Sheila, if we can just come back to today's news. So the order from Qatar, you said they have 130 planes in their order book. Is this an additional incremental 30 planes, or is it an entirely new order on top of the 130?
It would be we don't know officially, but it would be an incremental order of 160 planes. It's mostly wide bodies, of course, given where it's a Middle Eastern carrier. So it extends the backlog. Right now, backlogs are about 6 to 7 years for narrow bodies, about 5 years for 5 years for the wide bodies. So it would extend the life of the 787 and just build a better backlog for that. So 160 planes additional to what Boeing already had.
What they already have, right? And so delivered over what period of time? Typically,
we don't know, but typically maybe 5 years or so.
Mm-hmm. Some viewers had questions if it's 160 jets and a $200 billion deal. I mean, that's a lot per jet. I assume some services are rolled in there too. Is that how it would work?
We don't have the exact breakdown of what types of jets it is. So it's largely mostly wide bodies. So I can't do math that quickly on television, but there could be services rolled into that. Planes are under warranty usually. So there might be some element of that. I don't know if there's any defense in there as well, but it's clearly an incremental order. And as we head to the Paris Air Show in about a month, we're going to see more and more of these dialogues take place. Then that'll continue to help drive Boeing a bit higher.
And finally, given Qatar and the airplanes, I mean, Air Force One, where are they in terms of delivering what they had promised?
I think the defense side is still a work in progress. So the way we think about Boeing is commercial is really the driver of free cash flow. And about 70% of that comes from the 737. It's very important to deliver those planes on time. And then the wide bodies are an incremental 20% of that. What we hope for the defense business is that it's losing about $1 billion of free cash flow this year. It lost $2 billion last year. We just hope that the development programs are net neutral. And they did a good job of that in Q1, to be fair. They generated profit for the first time in several quarters. So all the headlines apart, we just want the defense business and the development programs there to be sort of break even at worst.
Right.